This is Brandon. I'm with the Interide maintenance team. I'm just going to run us through the quick container chassis form. We're going to go through this procedure every time that we open up a container chassis road call or a repair order on the road. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to set it up so that you can utilize it kind of in the same way that you would utilize an application on your smartphone. So if you look here, I've got ESPN pulled up. I'm just going to switch to the address that I want it to be. Paste over. We're going to go to the new form. And we're going to hit here these top three. Well, let me back up here. If you look, these three vertical dots here will bring up a menu. And if you add that to your home screen, it's going to create it. It's first going to give you an option to rename it. That'll work for me. And now it has been added to my home screen. I'll show you what it looks like here. And there it is right here, this guy. So we're going to launch that. And I'm just going to quickly walk you through how you fill it out and kind of what it does. So it'll automatically give us a timestamp. You're going to want to select the first option. And just as an overview, all of these red asterisks are fields that you guys, as the driver, are going to need to fill out. So you're going to want to put in here that you're an Interide driver. You're going to put your name. You should only have to do that, one time, and then it will let you auto-populate most of those fields. And it does work very similarly. This is clearly an Android phone, but an iPhone works the same way. So it's going to ask you for your truck number and where you're at. In Salt Lake City. This is a K-line. The CC number is going to be 2. Now, we had a meeting with Warner Fleet. They're going to ask you for this, but really it doesn't matter. It's an internal number for them. Just pick 1 through 8, and you can tell them, it's 1 through 8. I went with 2 this time. Then you're going to want to write down your chassis number, and in this case it is KKLZ 601 619. Then the container number, and that's going to be KKFU 657-825. Is there damage to the genset? No, not in this particular case. Most of the time, as you know, you're going to have issues with the tires. We don't want to use the word blown tire, but the left rear outside tire needs replacement. And now it's going to ask us here to select a bunch of pictures. Now, in order for us to get reimbursed for this work, we have to have the pictures, which is why up until this point we've always asked you to text us the pictures of this information. But this form is actually going to automate it, so it will populate automatically. Now I hit that choose file button, and notice how it's prompted here these options down below. And if I hit camera, I'm going to be able to take a picture of the chassis number. Going to prompt me to say okay. All right, and now it's got that file attached to this form. So now we're going to take a picture of the container number, just like we did with the chassis. There we go. All right, so it's the left rear outside, and now it's got one picture at least here for the damage, and there are subsequent fields in case there's not enough in case you can't capture the scope of the damage in one picture. But I'm going to take a picture of this left rear outside right here. This particular tire doesn't look wonderful, but it's probably not going to blow. Anyway, this one, for the sake of this phone call, needs replacement. Or not phone call, recording. And I feel like we got enough of the damage. Now, if you had selected the genset did need repair, you would have to fill out this, and actually it is going to prompt for pictures of the genset damage. And because it's required field, I have to do it or else it'll error out. So I'm going to take a picture of the genset number. Ooh, got to retry that. Just going to hit OK. We're good. Choose file. Once again. Yeah, it's got that spill on the top, whatever. Alright. Now, as soon as you hit submit, it's going to load all that information into an email and send it to Warner Fleet Services. In the past, you've called Warner Fleet Services as soon as you've had an issue. This, as soon as you call Warner Fleet, they're going to ask you if you filled out this form and if you submitted it. If you haven't done so, they'll ask you to go to the website and they'll kind of walk you through how to do it if you need that little walkthrough. But you are going to have this filled out before they're going to go ahead and send out repair. So if you don't have a smartphone that can do this, you're going to need to send those pictures to me or Corey, and we're going to have to fill out the form for you. It would be much faster and much more beneficial if you guys would just do that up front, but we can fill out the form on your behalf if we need to. But everything has to go through this form in order for us to get reimbursed through K-Line and MOL, depending on who it is. So that has been kind of the walkthrough. And again, once you set this up as an application, it's really simple. All you have to do is launch it from the app, and it should work. If for any reason you don't have an internet connection, then you can still take the pictures. And again, if you look here, you can save it as a document on your phone and then load it from a folder when you do have, you know, when you do have an internet connection. So not having an internet connection is not going to be a good excuse for very long. But that's been our walkthrough here, and we are done. Appreciate you sticking through it.